Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to go over the second stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Specifically in today's video, I want to address essential workers and how hazard pay might be coming to you very soon. We are also going to dive into a simple rental assistance idea that may help you out. So if you're behind on your rent, this simple idea may work for you. Another thing we are going to address is the $2,400 monthly stimulus. What is it and why so many people could be getting this, however, they are not. I'm going to explain that towards the end of this video. The last thing, there's some big news coming as far as the economy and unemployment. So I want you to stick around for that as well. So those are the things we're going to cover. So let's get started. Now, let's dive into the second stimulus check, because I know that's what most people want to hear about. So let's just dive right into that. Now, earlier this week, the Assistant Secretary of Public Affairs for the Treasury, Maria Crowley, stated this: If we see in another few weeks that the need is still there for an additional stimulus, then the Trump administration has made it clear that we will consider all options, including an additional stimulus check. Now, that is good news, because that means another person is coming out and stating, yes, an additional stimulus check is an option and it's being considered. So that's what I want you to understand, is there are more people coming out saying an additional stimulus check is still an option. This has not been written off, so just keep that in mind. Also, the second stimulus check has always been on the table. Nobody has ever said and came out and stated that no, nobody is considering a second stimulus check as an option. It's always been an option, simply because the Senate needs to keep it open. As of right now, so many people are being let go permanently from their jobs because their jobs are gone. Their business has closed. Restaurants and casinos and hotels and movie theaters and all these places are letting half their staff go because they can't keep them employed. And so this is going to be a huge problem. And because this is a huge problem, the only real solution is additional stimulus checks for the American people. And for all those people saying that the economy is getting better, the sky is not falling yet, what I want you to understand is just yesterday, Friday, June 26th, two states, Texas and Florida, started to close bars, limit the capacity at different restaurants, simply because the virus and everything was spreading too quickly. Their cases, their numbers were going up. That's not good. The hotspots as of today, as of this morning, California, Texas, Arizona, and Florida, those four places. We can throw in Tennessee, I guess, but mainly those four, California, Texas, Arizona, and Florida, are the real hotspots now in the United States for this virus. So those are the states we really want to look at and keep track of and see what's happening, where they're going, because I guarantee you, California, one of the biggest states, is going to play a big role in what actually happens in this next stimulus package, and if there is an additional stimulus check. Now, I have some good news for all you essential workers in regards to hazard pay. Now, in a news segment that I was watching late last night, and I don't remember what the segment, I don't remember what news channel it was. It was late. I barely remember the story, but anyway, the reporter was reporting that multiple senators, or a couple of senators, are now feeling bad for essential workers. And so for all you essential workers, everybody that's wanting hazard pay, because you've been working, you haven't been collecting unemployment, which is great. Obviously, thank you for that. But some senators, and a couple is what is stated, are starting to feel bad for essential workers. But why is that? Here's the reason why. Many essential workers are being negatively impacted financially for going to work. Let me give you an example of why and how that actually works. Because a lot of essential workers are working less hours. Just because they worked 40 hours before, 40 hours a week, doesn't mean they are actually needed for 40 hours every single week where they are working. So let's say they work at a Target or a Walmart. Maybe they don't work the hours that they used to. So they're working less hours now. Also, many employers have asked, okay, this is the second big reason, for their employees to take a pay cut to help the business get through this pandemic and this tough time. So with a pay cut and less hours, they're actually making less money. Let me give you an example, an actual example. Let's say somebody makes $10 an hour, or used to make $12 an hour. And now instead of working 40 hours a week, they're only working 25. But they had a pay cut of $2, so now they're only making 10. They work 25 hours a week, $10 an hour, they get $250 a week. That's $1,000 a month. That's not a lot of money, especially if you consider that that person was making $12 an hour, was working 40 hours a week, was at $480 a week, and multiplied by 4 weeks was at $1,640, somewhere right around there. My math could be off, so don't quote me on that, but it's over $1,600. So an additional $600 per month is what they are losing. Now, here's what this reporter was stating, that these couple senators that are now feeling bad for essential workers, they are probably going to push for this hazard pay in this next stimulus package. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I didn't get the senators' names, so I couldn't really follow up on this, but it was something that was stated by this one news outlet. So, do I think it's true? I do think this is true. It's a very, again, I don't remember the news outlet, but I usually only watch news if it's from a reputable source. So, I just want to put that out there, that for all you essential workers, first off, thank you for doing what you've been doing, and that is not going unnoticed. More people are starting to notice that essential workers, it is you guys that are keeping everybody fed, okay? Keeping food on our tables, keeping clothes on our back, and so much more. So thank you for that. Now, for those of you that are on Social Security and disability, okay, I just want to put this out there, that there are still a bunch of reports stating that there are more people on your side than against you. So when it comes to this next stimulus check, possibly the second stimulus check, maybe the last one, who knows, that more senators are for giving people on Social Security and disability this check. Just because you have had your income coming in every month for the past few months while this pandemic has gone on, doesn't mean you haven't been affected negatively. So because of that, there are a bunch of senators that are still on your side. There are some, like Senator Pat Toomey, who doesn't want you to have a second stimulus check and was hoping you wouldn't have got the first one. But just understand, that's just one instance, one senator, but things will get better. So just look at that as this is a good sign that people are coming out in support of people on Social Security and disability. Now, let's talk about rental assistance. I understand a lot of you guys are struggling to pay your rent, and I get it. If I was in that same boat, I would be looking for anything possible that I could do to make some money, get some income coming in, so I can start giving out to the people that I owe the most to. And your rent is probably one of the most important bills that you pay. So here's something that you can do, and this was an idea that was given to me by, I think, multiple people here on this channel inside the comments, was you should tell your landlord, if they haven't already applied for the EIDL grant, that they could potentially get $1,000 in free money. They don't have to pay it back, and it's simply because they have a business and they have been affected by this pandemic. Okay, the EIDL grant is simply, it's mainly for people that have businesses or a side hustle. And if you have a rental property, that is a business. That is some type of side hustle or an income. So if you've been affected by this pandemic, which most people that have any rental properties have been, then they could easily apply for this EIDL grant. And if approved, they can get $1,000. And that $1,000 in free money, one time, could be enough to maybe pay for a little bit of your rent. So work something out with your landlord and say, hey, being that I told you about this idea, could we, forgive 1 month, right? And so being that they just got an additional $1,000, yeah, even though if you were paying, they could still use it a little bit. But the nice thing about this is many landlords are very understanding. And so one of the people that actually mentioned this idea in the comments, they did it. And they were able to get $500 off of their rent. Okay, $500 one time off their rent, which really helps out. So that's just an idea. You could use, maybe the landlord will take all $1,000 and apply it towards your rent or your back rent. So if that's the case, great. But just throw that idea out there to your landlord. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, maybe they have heard of it, maybe they just haven't done it yet. And in that case, you're really helping them out. We got some huge problems coming. Big problems through the economy and unemployment. Here is something that I was reading. Multiple governors have publicly stated, and this is a fact, okay, multiple governors have publicly stated that we will not continue with expected reopenings until there is mass testing and a vaccine readily available. And that is across the United States. There's multiple governors. Now you're probably thinking, that's good. That's a smart move because we can't keep this virus spreading around. And I get it, that is a smart move. That's a very good idea. But here's the problem. This is why this is a huge problem. This statement means that many states will require additional shutdowns. Okay? They will require restaurants and businesses to have no more than, let's say, 50% capacity. Let me put that into perspective for you. It's not just restaurants. It's restaurants, movie theaters, retail stores, zoos, recreational activities, okay, recreational locations, maybe a trampoline park, things like that, bars and other places very similar to that list. And they're going to require that some of these locations don't open up to full capacity, 75, 100%. So they have to operate at a very minimal capacity, 25, maybe 50% max. Here's the problem. Some of these businesses cannot profit off of only being open to 25% of their normal customer base. So because of that, no profit means these businesses will eventually lay off their employees, which will increase the unemployment numbers. Also, once more and more employees are laid off, eventually what will happen, and I believe in July we're going to see this more than any other month we've ever seen, more small businesses are just going to go under. They're going to have to just close because they can't afford to stay open. So once that happens, not only are the employees now out of work, the owner of that small business is out of work. So there are multiple people now out of work, now possibly collecting unemployment, and at this time, chances are that $600 extra unemployment boost will run out. It will run its course and it will be gone. So being on unemployment after July is not going to be a good thing. Now, being that we're already talking about unemployment, I just want to explain something. That this unemployment boost, it's a $2,400 per month boost. And now here's how it works. You get $600 in additional income, in additional benefits on top of your state unemployment. Now, don't go anywhere just yet because I want you to understand something. If you were denied unemployment, okay, you should be able to look on your state unemployment website and it's going to explain all this. But there should be a section on that website, on your state's unemployment website, that lets you file for expanded unemployment benefits. This is the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, PUA. Okay? And I state this because for Washington State, for example, I looked into Washington State because that's where I'm from, that's where I live. Washington State, and I'm pretty sure this works for other states as well, but in Washington State, if you are self-employed, you are a contractor, okay, and you are affected by this pandemic, you can file for unemployment. And once you are denied, then you go and file for that Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, okay, that expanded unemployment benefit. And I say this because most people think, okay, I was denied. That's it, I'm denied, don't get any unemployment. No, you were denied state unemployment, yes, but for the whole COVID thing, okay, this whole pandemic, you can apply for the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, which not only will give you some state benefits, some state unemployment, however, it will also tack on that $600 per week bonus or boost. So you could easily be getting $2,400 per month up until July 25th. Now, I also want to just bring this to your attention because you're probably thinking, well, that's great. Now you tell me about it. I didn't know all this. Well, I'm telling you this now because inside this program, it's all retroactive. So if you can say that and you can prove that I've been out of work since March 15th, okay, so now the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program is going to give you retroactive pay all the way back till March 15th. So you could easily get, a few $1,000s, almost instantly just by filing for this. Now I know a lot of people are thinking, well, is that really a smart move to file for unemployment? Because won't that bring up our unemployment numbers and all this stuff? Who cares about the unemployment numbers right now? I don't care about the unemployment numbers. All I care about is you. I want to make sure you are okay. And if that means you file for this and maybe you're denied and you don't get it, I understand. But most people that I've talked to and worked with have been receiving this, have been getting approved. So just keep that in mind. Also, it's stated, and I believe it's stated, I could be wrong, but in the initial stage, initial weeks when this whole thing came out, it stated if you couldn't work because you had to homeschool your children, you could qualify for the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. Now, as we are already in summer, then that obviously is not the case. You could potentially go back to work. However, like I stated, this is all retroactive. So you could get your Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, that additional $600 boost plus your state unemployment benefits. You could get all this since it all started up until your children went to summer break. Now, I get it. This is probably a lot of stuff that you've never heard of, a lot of stuff you just don't know about. Here's what I suggest. Go to google.com and type, let's say you live in Washington State. Type in Washington State Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. Let's say you live in Florida. Do the exact same thing. Let's say you live in Nevada. Type in Nevada Pandemic Unemployment Assistance and just see what pops up. For Washington, I think it's the first or second website is the one that you go to. It's going to tell you all the requirements, who qualifies, and how you can apply. It's very simple, easy to do, based on what I've heard, and so you might as well try it out. So that's what I suggest you do if you're struggling right now. If you live in Washington State, I know for a fact, because I've helped multiple people, I've helped multiple friends and family members file for this, and it's fairly easy to do, okay? So just keep that in mind. It's simple. If you get denied, oh well, you get denied. You're not in any worse of a spot than you are right now. If you get approved, you have some money that's sitting there waiting for you. All right, guys. So I want to be really clear with you guys. The last month or so has been really hard for me, and I say this because here on the channel, here on the Homemade Entrepreneur channel, my goal is to teach people how to become, kind of independent and to create their own businesses and work from home, work online, stuff like that. And so the past couple months, specifically the past month, has been really tough because a lot of people have reached out for help. Single parents. I'm a parent. I'm not single. My wife and I, we raised our 3 kids together. We live in the same home. We're still married, still happily married. But a lot of people have been going through a tough time because of this pandemic, because of their spouse has been let go, isn't bringing in an income. People are depressed being at home. Kids are depressed, and I get it. And I'm lucky. My family and I were pretty fortunate that my wife and I, we've worked really hard, saved money, are in a position where we're not affected by this negatively. And so I just want you guys to understand that, I know this is a tough time. I know this is it's something that you didn't plan for, and there's really nothing you can do about that. The government hopefully will help out, but if they don't, what do you do? And so one of the things I've been telling people to do is look around on my channel or look around on other people's channels and figure out a way to create some type of side income, a side hustle. One of the things I always teach people how to do, and I have multiple courses on it. I've been doing this I've been making money online for 15 years full time, and I love it. It's one of the best ideas, one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. And so I want you guys to understand that having a side hustle, it shouldn't be looked at as a negative thing. It should be looked at as a positive thing. I've helped out many people, single parents, veterans, people on Social Security that just aren't receiving what they need. Mainly I've helped out veterans though, and it's been kind of a warming experience that I could help out. I could teach somebody how to make money and do it from the comfort of their own home and do it just with the power of the internet. And that's what I want you to do, is go out there and find a different business idea. You could sell stuff on eBay, and I love teaching people how to sell stuff on eBay and make money with eBay or Amazon as a platform. Those are two of the ways that I sell stuff right now. And honestly, through this pandemic, my income has shot up significantly simply because I sell the majority of my stuff, my products, I sell online through eBay and Amazon. And so because of that, and being all these stores have been closed, my income has gone up because of this, and it's been great. However, my ultimate goal isn't to make more money. I don't care to be a billionaire. That's not my goal. My goal is to help out 1 million people and get 1 million people to learn how to make money for themselves. Because if you can do this, if you can make money for yourself, you don't gotta rely on the government. You definitely don't have to rely on some boss that you can't stand and calls you into work every single day from 9 to 5. You don't have to worry about that. You now have the knowledge. You now have the idea to make money for yourself, put food on your table. And if I didn't decide to go into business for myself and create an online business back in 2006, I would not be where I am today. Okay? So, I know, this little drawn out, but I feel like, this past month has been very tough, and I have a feeling, which it makes me sad, but I have a feeling July is going to be even worse. Okay, so I hope you all are doing what you can to try to make some money. If you need help, send me an email. Send me an email at homemadeentrepreneur@gmail.com, and I'll help you out there. But again, just understand, I am here to help you out. I want to help you out any way that I can. If you need help with, maybe you haven't got your first stimulus check, let me know. Okay, send me an email, homemadeentrepreneur@gmail.com, and I can answer your questions there. If you need help starting an online business, working from home, selling stuff on eBay, again, send me an email. I've helped out way more people than I ever thought I would in the past few weeks. I've probably helped 2,500 to 3,000 people, and hopefully my help has helped them put food on the table, pay back their rent, keep their house, keep their cars, afford medicine and medications for themselves or their family members. Again, that's just what I'm trying to do, is help any way that I can. So there you go. That's the video for today. I know I didn't end it on the most positive note. However, I just want to be open with you guys and kind of explain where I'm coming from, and my goal is really to help you out. So if there's anything I can do, please ask down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's video and you learned something, like always, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys on the next one.